Nigga said, do you wanna catch this? Do you wanna pay for this and I pay for the food, or do you wanna pay for the food and I pay for the movie? Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Lou. If you're new, welcome to my channel. If you guys like what you see, which I know you will, please make sure you press the subscribe button that's down below, as well as the bell notification, so you guys are notified every single time that I post a new video. Now for today's video, as you guys can tell by this title, is going to be a story time. Now I don't even remember the last time I did a story time. I think it was about I think it was a year and a half or 2 years ago, so it's been a while, and I think they did pretty, you guys seem to like them, I guess. So I'm like, why not just bring back a few like story times that I can think of in the top of my head. And the one that I thought would have been a good story time to tell you guys is one of the worst dates that I've had. Now I said this is one of the worst dates because I had many, because I went through a stage where all my dates was like shitty as hell. Like all my dates was shitty, and I don't know, it was just like I could not make none of these shits up. But I have to say this one was one of the, yeah, I think this one was the worst one. Now I don't even know if he still follows me on Instagram, because I know I unfollowed him. I have a thing where when I'm done with someone, bitch, you're getting unfollowed, because there's no reason for me to keep seeing you. But I don't care, even if he does see this video, oh well, hey, you're one of my worst dates, no hard feelings. But yeah, so okay, let's start off this this story time. Now let's kind of like roll it back a little bit. So what are we gonna name him? We're gonna name him, I don't want nothing to be too obvious, we're gonna name him Marcus. Okay, yeah, that sounds so ghetto. Okay, whatever, we're gonna name him Marcus. Okay, so I actually went to school with Marcus's girlfriend, and then Marcus's girlfriend at the time was my best friend. So I guess he used to be around a lot, so I used to see Marcus here and there. So that was like in middle school. So fast forward, I guess I still followed Marcus on Instagram, which I didn't really know that. We both followed each other on Instagram, and it came to a point where, you know, like everybody was doing, I don't know what it was, I don't know if it was a Forex thing, I don't know what it was, but I guess he was doing like the Forex thing. And you know, I was watching him, I was watching his stories, so you know, he was posting his little, you know, Forex thing. And that was the time where everybody then, like, you know, figured out that Forex was not Forex is a scam, but the people that be like recruiting people for Forex is low-key kind of a scam. So that was way before then. So you know, he was kind of piquing my interest in him, you know, teaching Forex, showing how profitable he is. You know, that's how they be getting you, showing you that, oh, they here making all this money and stuff like that. That's how they get you. So you know, I was watching him, I'm like, okay, he doing his thing, like he learning his stuff. And mind you guys, I was already still in Forex, so I was still in Forex. I was still learning about it and stuff like that, but I didn't know too much about it. So I was interested. So that's when one day I was watching Marcus's story, and Marcus was, I don't know, I guess he was promoting one to teach people or to add people to his team and stuff. And I was like, I was kind of iffy at first, but then again, I'm like, okay, this is someone that I kind of know, like, you know, it's not no random ass person. I kind of know Marcus, so I'm like, why not? And I think Marcus gave me like a discount for I guess joining his group and stuff, so that was cool. So the next few days, you know, he was like, you know, setting me up to, you know, actually start learning the information from like Forex and stuff. The next few days came, you know, he was teaching me a few things. He was showing me like the things that I needed and stuff, X, Y, and Z. And then, you know, we be texting a little bit here and there. I'm asking questions and all that extra stuff. And then there was a day where we went on a Zoom. Like, he wanted us to go on a Zoom meeting, so I guess he can show me, like, you know, show me the stuff. So because I'm a visual learner, so he's like, okay, bet, you know, we'll hop on Zoom, I'll show you some stuff, I'll show you how to set things up. And I was like, all right, bet. You know, I was mad hype. I'm like, okay, I'm here about to learn all this information, I'm about to get this coin. So we got on Zoom. I think it was like kind of late in the afternoon. We got on Zoom, and then we basically, I guess, started the Zoom call. And then, so, you know, he was showing me a few things here and there, and then one thing led to the other. And then we just started talking about, I don't know, like where we met each other from, how long it's been, like what we're doing. I don't know, just like it just started into like, we stopped talking about the Forex thing, and we basically just started talking about, like, you know, just have a regular conversation, you know, asking like questions like, oh, how you been, this where I've been, blah blah blah. One thing led to the other. He was saying, let's meet up. He was like, let's meet up. Now, disclaimer, when he said let's meet up, in my head I was thinking, all right, bet, we can meet at like a Starbucks, or we'll meet at like a fucking library or something, and you know, so he can be in person, so he can teach me better. So that's all I was thinking in my head, like off rip. So he was like, oh, we should meet up and stuff like that, blase blase. I'm like, okay, bet, I don't mind. Because me, at that time, I really was hyped. Like, I really wanted to learn, you know, Forex and stuff like that. So again, like I said, I'm a visual learner, so the more I'm able to see stuff, the more I'm able, my brain is able to like retain information. So, you know, he was like, all right, you know, we can meet up, X, Y, and Z. And then that's when he was like, where do you want to go? And then I'm like, it doesn't matter to me, we can go wherever. And then I think that's when he said, okay, bet, we can go to the movies. The movies, my dumbass, in my head I'm like, the movies, how are you gonna teach me in the movies if we're gonna be watching a movie? How are you gonna teach me this information? But then I'm like, bitch, you're stupid. He's saying, like, when he said let's meet up, this nigga meant like let's meet up as in like let's meet up as in like a date, like let's hang out, not for you to actually teach me something. So I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, nigga, I mind you, like my mind wasn't even going like there, like with him. My mind wasn't really there with him, honestly. I never really thought of him that way and stuff. Like, granted, he wasn't ugly, he was decent looking, like he was somewhat handsome, he was alright. But still, like, my brain wasn't really there, like I wasn't really like thinking about it that way. So he was like, all right, bet, like let's go to the movies. And I'm like, not sure. But he's like, yeah, let's go to the movies and stuff like that, let's chill. And then that's why I'm just like, you know what, whatever. Because back then I was like, it is what it is. I'm like, free movie, free food. So, you know, I was with the shits back then. So I was just like, you know what, whatever, like free movie, let's just do it. So I was just like, all right, bet, like let's go to the movies. And then we're like, okay, whatever. And then I think after that we got back to learning about the stuff. Like, he told me like a few more things, and then we ended the call. After we got off the call, I think we ended up choosing what movie we want to watch and where we wanted to watch it. And I think that's what happened. And then we were like, oh, let's go to iPic and stuff, girl. He wanted to be fancy and go to iPic. I really don't care about iPic, because iPic ain't all that deep. But I guess he wanted to show out and be like, let's go to iPic. And I'm like, okay, bet, say less. This is the time, this is the place and stuff. And then I think after that, because I think that was in the beginning of the week, throughout the week, I think we texted like one or two, but it wasn't necessarily really about the date. It was more so like, you know, him teaching me the information, because that was the first thing that we really was I hit him up for. So throughout the week we didn't really talk about the date and stuff like that. So the day came for the date to actually, you know, come. I didn't hear from him. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're going on a date with someone, when that day come, don't you necessarily message them and just be like, hey, don't forget at 6 p.m. is our date, or I don't know, just like a reminder, like a reassurance type thing. But he didn't do that. So in my head I'm thinking, all right, bet he forgot about it, we ain't going on a date. And I'm like, okay, it is what it is, because honestly it wasn't really that deep for me. It wasn't something that I was really like hype about, like yeah, it wasn't really something that I was like too hyped about, like I was looking forward to. It was just something that just happened, that we was happened to do. So and then like an hour or two before, yeah, an hour or two before, that's when he messaged me. He was like, oh, I think he said I'll meet you there, but he's like, oh, something about 8, basically clarifying that we're about to go in there. I'm like, nigga, it's 1 hour before, and then now you want to say something? Like, you should have been said something so I can get ready, so I can shower properly, so I can, you know, get somewhat cute. Because bitch, I mean, I still want to be cute, because you never know who you're gonna see at the movies. So I was just like, you know what, this nigga. But I'm like, you know what, whatever, girl, free movie, get it together. So I was like, all right, bet. Got ready, did my hair, I think I did my makeup, I'm not sure, but I got cute. And then basically it was time for me to basically start going. Now, one thing about me, I don't really tell guys to come pick me up, because first off, I don't know if they're crazy, and second off, I don't want them to know where I live, and then now you're crazy and you know where I live, now you're probably gonna be stalking me. So me, normally I would drive to the destination, at least for the first date, before I feel off your vibe, before you can actually pick me up. So I was basically on the highway, on my way there. I did text him. I was like, okay, I'm on my way, I'm on the highway now. And then that's when, like, I guess he didn't see it till like I was halfway to the destination. That's when he texted me, and he was like hold on, meet up with me. And I'm like, what do you mean meet up with you? He was like, can you meet up with me? But I'm like, I'm kind of already halfway there. He's like, oh, do you know the directions and stuff like that? And I'm just like, that's why GPS was invented. What do you mean, do I know where the place is? But in a sense, he kept telling me, oh, let's meet up. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. That's when I finally told him, okay, let's meet up at my job, which was a gas station. I had to turn around. Mind you guys, I was already halfway. Like, mind you, the movie theaters is that way and my job is that way. So basically I had to zoom all the way back. I was just, at that point, I was already annoyed. Like, already. I was already ticked off. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, why does this nigga want me to meet up with him? So, and then that's when it kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, ah, I'm this nigga's probably gonna get someone to drop him off. And then now he's gonna have to, I'm gonna have to drive him. We're gonna have to get in my car, drive to the date, and then now I'm probably gonna have to end up dropping him home. Because this happened to me before, where, you know, niggas don't have a ride, or I have to pick them up and stuff like that. Like, now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you could have just told me that you ain't had a ride, and I could have just told you no offer. People go through things, don't get me wrong, but I was just like, offer it. But I probably would have been like, hell no, nigga, I'm not picking you up for no damn date, because I wasn't even hyped about pressed about the date like that. So in my head, the whole way I'm driving there, I'm like, damn, like, this nigga really about to get in his car for us to go to this date. Like, whatever. At this point, I was just like, you know what, whatever. That's crossed my mind. And then finally I finally got to my job, which was at the gas station, and I was waiting for him outside. And then I was like, okay, let me know when you're here, so, you know, we can head there, because, you know, the time is already clicking to when the movie's gonna start. So I'm just like, okay, so just make sure you're quick, because I emphasize that I don't watch movies after they started. Like, I hate watching movies even if they're like 2-3 minutes in. I do not want to watch it. I'm that type of person. Like, I want to see everything. I want to see every infomercial. So I told him that, so make sure you're not you hurry up, so we can, you know, make it and not what you might call it, be late for the movie. And he was like, all right, bet. And then so it came to a point where I think I was in the car for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, you know what, why am I in the car? Let me just go inside and chill with my co-workers that were working that night. So, you know, I went in there, I was chilling with them, we was talking about stuff. And then 10 minutes turned into 30 minutes, 30 minutes turned into an hour. So I was at the gas station with, like, chilling with my coworkers for an hour. And then that's when I finally okay, let me not exaggerate, it was about like probably 45 minutes. So it was probably like 45 minutes. And then this nigga finally messaged me, and tell me what he said. He said, I'll meet you over there. I'm like, nigga, are you dumb? Are you dumb? So you made me drive. I was already almost halfway to the theater. You made me turn around just so I could meet you here, and then now you're telling me to meet you over there. At this point, bitch, I was pissed. And the funny thing is, I was already like annoyed. Now I became pissed because I was like, nigga, are you dumb? And then that's she was like, girl, just forget about it, just go home. Go home, or she said it's either one, you go home, or two, you just go to the movies by yourself, because this nigga over here tripping, because like, why the hell would he do that? And I'm like, yeah, like, why the hell would he do that? Like, he ain't apologized or nothing. He just said, oh, just meet me over there. So I'm like, you know what, in my head I was just like, in my head I was still like, free movie. And I mean, in the same time, I really wanted to watch that movie because I watched the infomercial, and the infomercial kind of got me hyped. So I'm like, all right, bet, like, you know what, whatever, I'm already out, I'm not gonna go home, let me just go to the movie theater and just watch the movie and then go home. So that's when I finally left, and then I finally met him at the movie theaters. And let me tell you guys, we was already mad late, but I felt like we still could have made it to the point where, you know, the movie actually still started in front of me. That's really why I left, because I'm like, okay, we still got a few minutes until we can actually get in. Mind you, we was catching the last showing, so we had to be there at a certain time. I'm here searching for parking. Mind you guys, it's Saturday night and we're in Boca. If you know, we're in Boca, like, and then it's Saturday night again, so it was packed. There was no parking. So I spent like another 5 minutes, like, you know, going around looking for parking. I mean, he already found a parking, he was waiting for me, so I'm here looking for parking and stuff like that. And then that's when I finally found a parking lot where someone just left, and I happened to, you know, get that parking. And then that's when he came to me and stuff like that, and he's like, oh, you know how to pay for the meter and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, damn, nigga, so you couldn't even I thought I heard something. So nigga, you not even finna pay for my parking meter? Like, I didn't expect him to pay, but I'm like, okay, you just made me drive all this way, you just made me do all this zigzag. You could have at least offered. You could have offered for me, and then for me to say, nah, it's great. But he ain't do that. So I paid for the meter, and then, you know, now at this point we're like rushing to the to get in, because we're like, we know that we're already late, and you know, the movies is basically about to start. So we're rushing, and then we're finally like in front of the door. I'm like, okay, finally. And then tell me why he got the door to open it. Tell me why the door was locked. The door was locked. So, you know, I'm just like, did you check to see what was the last time? Because, you know, in movie theaters, there's a certain time that you got to make it by. So, before they lock the door, it doesn't matter if the movie start at X, Y, and Z. After like 5 minutes after, since it is the last showing, they're gonna lock the door. So I'm like, did you even check to see when they actually locked the door for us to make it in? He was like, nah, I didn't. And then, so tell me why he called the movie theater that we're like in front of, iPick, and they're like, yeah, we already closed the lobby and stuff like that, and the movie already started. I was just like, you know what, I'm like, you know what, I wasn't even thinking about the movies at this point. I was thinking about, I just paid, I think it was like I paid for like two or 3 hours for the meter. So I'm like, so this nigga really just made me pay for the fucking meter, and now we can't even get inside the movie theater? Like, I was just laughing, like the whole time I was just laughing. I was just like, okay, all right. And then the fact that he see me laughing, it wasn't even like a haha laugh. It was like, bitch, now you're pissing me off type of laughing. So I kind of think like he sensed that. So he's like, man, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, we'll find another theater, we'll find another theater. So I'm like, what theater are we gonna find at this time? Like, all of them probably have the last showing already. He's like, nah, there's probably other ones, there's probably other ones. So we're sitting there looking, he's looking for other theaters that we can go at and stuff like that. And then after that, after I see him struggle, I'm like, all right, bet, let me just try to help him out to see if I can, you know, see another theater. So that's when the showing at the normal theater that I usually go to, I seen that there was a showing. Mind you guys, I've been told him let's go to that one, but you know, he wanted to be bougie and go to iPick or whatever. So that's when I'm like, all right, there's a showing at X, Y, and Z. If we rush, we'll probably make it. And I'm like, all right, wait, let's call the place first to make sure to see if we'll actually make it. So they don't close the lobby before we, you know, get there and stuff like that. So, and then I called them. They're like, all right, bet, if you make it by X, Y, and Z, you guys can still get in and then still watch the movie. I was like, all right, bet, like, let's go. And then that's when we both got in our cars, and then we just, you know, was driving to the other movie theater. He got there before me because I guess he was speed racing to that movie theater. Me, I'm like, bitch, I'm not. I drive like a grandma low key, so I'm like, bitch, I ain't rushing. I was rushing, but I wasn't rushing, if that makes sense. So, and then I low-key was kind of stuck in traffic, and then so like the whole time he was like freaking calling me, annoying me, talking about where you at, where you at. I'm like, nigga, hold on, like I'm in traffic, like what you want me to do? Like, did you take the floor? I took the floor, nigga. He's talking about why you took the floor, you should have took the highway, blah 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 blah. One thing about me, I don't really like taking the highway. I don't take the highway unless it's necessary, because that's just how I am. So I'm like, nigga, I'm coming, like stop rushing me. And then that's when I finally got there. Like, he was on the phone with me nagging like the whole time until I got to the movies. That's when he's like, finally you here. And then that's when we're like, okay, we finally got into the movie theater. We're like, all right. In my head, I'm like, damn, okay, bet I'm still gonna watch this movie. I'm still gonna watch this free movie, you know. We about to, you know, be lit. And then that's when, you know, we were like, we're about to pay at the kiosk, because we're not even paying with the person anymore. We're paying at the kiosk. And then, you know, 2 adult tickets. This is the movie we're watching. And then, boom, grand total. And then, so, you know, I'm here waiting on the corner with my little, holding my little purse, you know, waiting for him to pay. So, you know, I can go ahead and ready to, you know, watch my movie. So I'm waiting, and I'm like, okay, why this nigga ain't, you know, paying so we can go? And then that's when this nigga said, do you wanna catch this? Do you wanna pay for this and I pay for the food, or do you wanna pay for the food and I pay for the movies? I was like, okay. I was like, just pay for the movies. I'll pay for the food. I was like, what the fuck? Did this nigga really ask me which one to choose, which one I want to pay for? Are you dumb? When I tell you, at this point, I was just over everything. I was over it. The only thing that was like in my mind right now that was holding me was that this movie looked really like fire, and I wanted to watch that movie. That was the only thing that didn't really stop me from being like, bitch, I'm going home. So I'm like, you know what, I'll pay for the food. And then he paid for the movie. Okay, and then just a little disclaimer, like, I have no problem paying for, you know, like for stuff. Like, I have no problem, like, just because we out don't mean that I have to, you have to pay for X, Y, and Z. But it's just the way that he said it, like, bitch, like, are you paying for this or are you paying for that? Like, first off, nigga, you asked me to go out. You asked me to go out, and you here asking me, do I want to pay? Like, that make sense. If I ask you out, bet, like, I am paying. But why are you asking me to choose? Like, honestly, if he would have, like, off jump, if he would have paid for the movies, I honestly would have told him, when we got to the food station, I would have been like, don't worry about it, I got it. Because that's just the type of person I am. If you get one thing, I'll get the other. I mean, sometimes I have to, like, you know, fight with niggas to actually pay. But, like, that's just the type of person I am. If you get this, I'll get that. Like, if you do this, I'll do that. You know, that's just the type of person I am overall. But the fact that he was giving me an ultimatum, I was like, okay, nigga, whatever. Just blew my mind. So I was just like, you know what, whatever. And then that's when, you know, now at this point, the movie was basically about to start. And I'm like I said, I do not like when movies not start in front of me. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, okay, what you getting to eat? Because mind you guys, I told you guys I went to the gas station and I already, you know, bought some snacks at the gas stations because I previously eat before I left home. So I wasn't really hungry for me to get food at the movie theaters, and I already had the snacks in my purse. So I'm just like, okay, I really want to not miss the beginning of the movie. Here's my card. Dumbass. Let me say this again. I said, here's my card. Get what you was gonna get, and then, you know, meet me in the movie theaters. I don't know why I said this. I mean, like I said, I was in a rush. I was just like, I was over it. I'm like, nigga, I'm not even trying to be next to you. So I'm like, alright, bet, here's my card, get what you're gonna get, and then meet me in the movie theater. He was like, oh, what you want? I'm like, I'm good. I don't even need anything. Like, I'm straight. So I was in the movie. I'm in the movies and I'm waiting for him. I'm like, damn, this nigga taking a long ass time. But then again, I wasn't really on him because the movie already started. And I'm not even worried about him. But then I did realize that he was down there for like a pretty long time. And then that's when, you know, I finally see him coming up and stuff. And I'm just like, where's the food? And he's like, oh, they'll bring it to you and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, bet. And then he's like, here's your card and stuff. I was like, all right, thank you. And then, you know, we was just here watching the movie. Honestly, when he sat there, I really was trying to ignore him because, like I said, I honestly was over the whole situation. So I wasn't even trying to be like next to him. I just wanted to watch my movie and dip at this point. So, you know, and then mind you guys, the whole time that we was there, he was here trying to show me, like, he was trying to show me like, oh, I just made $100 because, you know, like I said, you guys, he did the little forex thing. So he's like, look, I'm here on this date and I just made $200. I made this, I made that. Like, that's what he was saying the whole time. I'm like, nigga, if you don't shut the fuck up and watch the damn movie. I'm like, all right, bet, nigga, you got money, that's cool. Like, you making money, that's great. And then that's when the server with the food finally came. And then the server with the food finally came, and let me tell you guys, like, I don't know, maybe my eyes was blurry, maybe my contacts was dry, I was seeing double, but the guy came with 2 things of food. So the first thought that was in my head was, oh, okay, he probably still thought like I would want something. He just chose something for me so I can eat, and he also got something for himself. That was the first thing that went through my mind. And then so that's when, you know, he got both of the foods. Both of the foods was on his lap, and, you know, I was waiting for him to, you know, hand me something or say something and be like, okay, this one is for you, even though I know that you said you didn't want anything. He didn't say anything. I'm like, all right. He got the drink, you know, he's sipping on the drink, and I'm like, all right. Mind you guys, I'm sitting like this, and I'm just like all right, bet. And then he opening up the food. This nigga opens up the food and he started eating. And then I guess he got like chicken with fries. So he was like, oh, do you want a fry? Do you want a fry? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I'm good. So in my head, I'm like, so did this nigga just get an entree? He got an entree and he got dinner on my card. But I'm like, nah, this can't be for real. Like, this nigga did not just get two shits of food on my card. Like, you're one person. Like, it still wasn't registering to my head. So, you know, he finished fucking up that food because, I don't know, maybe he ain't eat all day. You know how when you ain't eat all day and you finally get food and you like, blah, 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 blah. Like, he was eating that shit up like, bitch. And then he was smacking. So I'm eating. Imagine I'm already annoyed and pissed. And now I'm extra pissed because this nigga bought 2 shits on my card. And he's here smacking, enjoying the food while I'm trying to watch this damn movie. When I tell you guys, if you know the little you know the little cartoons where like smoke come out of your head, that's how, if that was the thing, that would have been me at that movie theaters, because I was over it, okay? And then that's when, you know, he finished his food, and then I guess he didn't eat the other one because I guess the second plate that he bought was a late night snack. So I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, bet. Then, like I said, we was watching the movie after he finished eating. The whole time, again, he was still kind of like, he was checking his phone, so I guess, because, you know, he got to check it for like Forex and stuff. He was like, oh, I just made $50. Oh, I just made $100. In my head, I'm like, all right, so you making all this money, but why did you have to use my card to get you dinner and a snack for later? Like, I'm confused. Why didn't you use all this money to buy your own food? Like, I'm confused. Why didn't you do that? But you got all this money though. Finally, the movie finally ended. The movie was fire. Like the infomercial, it didn't lie. The movie was fire. And I was like, all right, bet. Finally, I get to go home and never talk to this nigga ever fucking again. I mean, in a like personal level, because, you know, I still paid him for the thing. And then that's when, you know, we was about to go. And then he was like, oh, hold up, I gotta go pee. He went to go pee. And then he was like, oh, can you hold my plate, please? I'm like, this nigga want me to hold his plate too? I'm like, all right, bet, hurry up. And then, you know, and then that's when we was about to leave the movie theaters. And he's like, okay, can you drop me to my car? I'm like, so where the fuck is your car? He's like, oh, I put it in the garage. I didn't want it to get wet. Anyway, so he hopped in the car. Honestly, we ain't say, excuse me, honestly, we ain't say shit. I just put up the volume on the radio. We ain't say nothing to each other. Excuse me, we ain't say nothing to each other. And you know, I just drove him to the in the his where he parked, and then he just got out the car. He got out the car ready to leave. And then I was like, don't forget about your food. And he's like, oh yeah, like, nigga, you thought you really was about to leave this food inside this fucking car? You better take your fucking snack. Take your snack with you, nigga. So, and then I handed it to him. I was like, bye. And then he was just like, bye. And that literally was it. That was it. Now after that happened, I don't even think we even talked about it. I don't think we talked about it, or I think he said one thing to me. And then I think something happened where I guess he wasn't teaching me right, or something wasn't going right. And I was asking him, I was like, okay, can I just get a refund? Because, you know, you're not giving me what, you know, I thought that you were supposed to give me. You're not like actually teaching me the things that I actually needed to be teach. So I guess it was some argument between there and stuff like that. And that was pretty bad. Like, he was arguing with me about this little money and stuff like that. I'm like, nigga, give me my money back. If you're not going to be teaching me the shit that I paid for, why the fuck am I giving you this money? Like, give me my shit back. And then, you know, mind you, when people start arguing about money, that everything goes out the window. So he was talking all this shit and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what, whatever. I think I blocked him. And then I unfollowed him. I either unfollowed him or blocked him on Instagram also. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just over this nigga. This nigga bought lunch and dinner on my card, wasted my fucking time. And now he damn near kind of scammed me off money from teaching me this shit that he ain't even teach me. Like when I tell you, it be the people that you know too. Like, cause the whole thing is, I'm like, okay, I know this dude. Like, this dude is cool. And look at it, this nigga here damn near almost freaking scammed me. Like, but anyways, y'all, that was one of the worst dates that I've had. And like I said, I've had at least 2 more worst dates, because at a time it was just literally back to back worst dates. I don't know what it was with me. I don't know, I guess I was in a funk, like, I don't know. But that was really it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's chat it up in the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and if you guys did, please make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comments down below if you guys would want more story times like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.